Good afternoon, ladies.
Hi, Justine. How are you?
I'm
Hi, Justine.
so. How's the East Coast?
It's rainy, but we're doing.
Yeah, it's a bit drizzly and grizzly, but we're moving into spring officially now.
Yes.
It is spring. It actually has been raining here in California a bit, which is always good.
Yay!
I know. The drought will continue, but maybe a little bit less. So welcome, everyone. We are here in week 5 of This is Tone It Up Tuesdays. I'm Justine Sanfilippo with my beautiful name tag. And they are following, we have Jennifer and Kajenwa following the Lose Your Inches Without Losing Your Mind program, which is 10 weeks, and we're again on week 5, and they are with Dash Public Relations. So last week we talked about getting moving and exercising more, and this week we're going to talk about don't drink calories. So this is all based on the book, Lose Your Inches Without Losing Your Mind, at happyhealthypeople.com. So I would love for each of you to share with us how getting moving was going for you. I know, Jennifer, you were talking about maybe doing some dancing, getting back into that, getting back into running. And then Kajenwa, you joined Planet Fitness, and you were going to take some classes. So
I did join Planet Fitness. Yeah. We talked in week 1 about little excuses you make up in your mind, and I really had a conversation with myself about that on the way to the gym, which was, it takes too long to get there, and shifting my mind about it's really only 15 minutes when you actually work it out. So that's not a good excuse either. And then another excuse might be, I'm really busy during the day, but actually it's a 24-hour outlet. So that's not a good excuse either. So it's shifting my mind around making it happen. It was great to get on that elliptical again, the Stairmaster, and tells you how many calories you burnt. And then you punch that into the MyFitnessPal app, it actually deducts it for you, which is kind of fun. So you feel like you've gained more money. I think of it as money, I'm like, a drink cost me $120. So that's how I think about it. And then of course I'm a little bit sore because I did a few, I guess isolation pieces for stomach and thighs, but I'm really looking forward to going twice a week, which is my baby goal this coming week.
Okay, so I'm going to write that down. So it'll be twice a week. I love that you mentioned the excuses, because it's true. A lot of people have excuses. I mean, we all do. Maybe we're tired one day, we need to go do this errand, and sometimes it's just planning ahead a little bit. And again, knowing that the obstacle may come up in our mind and then making a different decision. So way back in the day when I did live in New Jersey, I had a women's gym for 3 years. And I always told the women, when you're driving home, I mean, in your guys' case, you could be walking or taking a subway, but when you're driving home, turn the car to the gym. Because if you turn home, you're not going to get to the gym. You're going to get home, you're going to relax, change clothes, just have your clothes ready and turn that way. Because once you're there, you do feel a lot better. And I also like that you pointed out with the MyFitnessPal app that, because a few weeks ago we're talking about tracking calories and just really getting used to what you're normally intaking, because it can be a real eye-opener, is that when you exercise, you actually do get, like you said, a little bit money in the bank where you can actually eat a little bit more during the day, and you'll still lose weight. It still helps boost the metabolism. So that's a really good point there. Thanks for pointing that out.
Yeah, great.
All right, Miss Jen, how was your week with working out and all that stuff?
It was okay. It's been a little gloomy. Now, I like to walk outside because I feel like I'm going somewhere and I'm using my muscles. But I do have a treadmill in the basement. So me and the treadmill have quite a little love-hate relationship, teetering more on the hate side, because I feel like it takes me an hour to do a mile where outside it takes me 15, 20 minutes. So I am one of those freaks who I put on my music. I think I'm Britney Spears. I'm dancing, in the mirror, doing all kinds of crazy moves, and nobody has ever seen this in reality because they would think that I belong in the loony bin, but it's fun and it's the only way I can get through it. So who cares, right? That's what you have to do. And I also want to clarify, I've been doing maybe a mile when I go out. So I don't do that much, and it takes me like 15, 20 minutes. As far as running, I am not a runner. So just for you guys out there who are like, oh, this girl's claiming she hasn't exercised in forever and now she's running. My version of running is like trying to get through one block down my street. And then I walk 2 or 3 blocks. But I would love to be able to run a mile one day. I've never been able to do it. So it's baby steps. I consider it running. Also on that note, I want to give a little shout out to One Tough Mother with a U for sending us this t-shirt, because she has been watching our videos and she also is very big in the health industry. So please go to onetoughmother.net hashtag OTM and see all the fabulous things that she has going on. If you need any last minute gifts, she's got plenty of t-shirts and sweatshirts and jewelry and wine glasses for sale. Just a little, I just have to because they're awesome. I live in this. You should see my sweatshirt. It's
a little shameless plug.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So comfortable. So thank you, Karen Finocchio, One Tough Mother. Again, onetoughmother.net.
Thank you for that. I mean, you guys are in PR, of course. Promote whoever you need to promote. I also really like, Jennifer, that you talked about how you're not a runner and you don't really like it. Like, I can totally relate. I actually don't enjoy running, and I try to kind of do everything else but the other day I was like, well, I just have a little bit of time. It wasn't the greatest outside. It was actually really cold. And I went downstairs on the fitness treadmill and I'm like, okay, I'm going to jog like literally at a 4.2. I mean, which is nothing. I mean, you could fast walk.
That's better than me. I'm at like a 3.8 and I'm dying.
Oh my God.
That's okay. But I'm like, okay, I'm going to go 5 whole minutes without stopping because I just have never enjoyed running. I could sprint. I mean, even when I was in grade school, I'm like, oh, I'll sprint for 5 seconds. And then I've never been a distance person. So this is all about too, like figuring out what works for you. I love that you're like jamming out to Britney Spears on the treadmill. When I would watch on the treadmill, I would like watch my favorite shows, put on a movie, just something to totally like zone out if I am needing to work out indoors. So it's good about figuring out, what works for you. So thank you for that. Okay, so this week we are talking about don't drink calories. Now, that's just a really great general rule of thumb if a person's on the lose your inches journey and really wanting to continue to shrink the waistline. Sometimes the calories that are in beverages, they kind of sneak up on you and they really can kind of like stall everything a little bit, especially alcohol. But so some areas where calories would be, besides alcohol, would be in coffee. We have like all the little sweeteners, of course, sodas, juices, things like that. And one thing about water, I mean, we started talking about water in week 1, is that it's really, really important. We can only live for 3 days without water. We can go for 3 weeks without food. So water is essential to all of our cells. It's because our body is 70% water. So each tiny cell needs water to function properly. And then our brains, which is really interesting, is about 85% water. So if you find when you drink more water, you're a little bit more clear and focused, that's because your brain's running a little bit more efficiently, which is a really great tip there too. So what are some, I know you guys have been working on the water thing, and I'd love to hear how that has been going for you. Do you think there's any beverages you have that have calories or are higher in sugar that maybe you'd like to work on a bit?
Well, the interesting thing about, living in water, I was watching The Revenant the other day, which is Leonardo DiCaprio's film. I think he won the Oscar for that piece. And
we
love us some Leo, let me tell you what. So but he was like wrestling bears in this like 19th century, and there's nothing out there and no food to eat. I'm like, how does he live? But apparently, this is the case. You can live a long time. You just need some water, basically. But, I was dying for him and basically starving for him as I'm watching the film. But, I think that I've really cut back on drinking juices. It's just, I used to go to juice all the time, Jen, just like you did with Coke. And I'm finding that, I can live without the juice. I can actually live without the juice. I'm working on no bread, and I'm trying not to be as addled as I was. I love coffee. I basically have dreams of my coffee mug as soon as I get up, and then I'm trying to cut back on the sugar, the sugary things. I've been working on cutting back on sugary treats. And the next thing is the white sugar that can creep up on you. And I suspect if I didn't put any sugar in my coffee, I'd probably lose more inches. So this is my next quest, is to work on less sugar in my coffee cup. And I just feel like it's an addiction in many ways.
Okay, that's true. I mean, a lot of people love coffee. I mean, that's why Starbucks is on every corner, and you do dream of those things. So there's nothing wrong with having the coffee. It's just figuring out how, like you said, to reduce the amount, or maybe that is your sugary treat for the whole day. Maybe the rest of the day is really reduced to sugar, so you're burning off all the sugar in the morning anyway from the coffee. So it's just figuring out, how things are going overall, and then what makes sense for you. Because again, we don't want to make you go crazy. We want you to be happy all day too.
Exactly. I'm better happy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
How about you, Jennifer?
So I actually noticed sodium in things I never would have suspected. I do like soda now has become a little bit of a treat for me. I still do drink a little bit, maybe 4 ounces. On a bad day, I might have 8 ounces. But again, that used to be all I drank. So I have a few sips here and there, and it just it gets rid of that need for extra flavor. So a couple of days ago, I was in a convenience store, and I'm a big fan of Aquafina. And I noticed that one of the Aquafinas, it had flavored, it was like raspberry Aquafina, 0 calories, whatnot. I was like, oh my God, this is great. And then I looked at the back, and it had 170 milligrams of sodium per serving. I'm like, what? Like, this is water. So again, like you said, hidden calories, also some hidden sodium.
Yeah. No, that's great. I mean, the part of this too is reading the labels, and yeah, why would there be sodium in water? I guess they're trying to make up some sort of flavor. That's weird. So good job for.
But yeah. And along with that, sometimes they trick you because you think that the serving is the full serving when really it's like half the pack, right?
Yeah.
So look at ramen noodles, right? This is like absolute junk. And it's true what they say, don't go shopping hungry, because then you start to pick up things like ramen noodles and Doritos, and you start seeing stars and birds after. But, your pack of ramen will tell you, it's like 1/3 of the pack is 7 grams of fat. So if you're not careful, you think that the whole pack is 7 grams of fat, when in reality, it's 21 grams of fat for a pack of noodles that don't even give you the nutrients that you're supposed to have, and probably like 900 milligrams times 3 for the little salt pack things. Yeah. So that's, it's worth considering.
Yeah, I remember eating ramen in college, and
yeah, I mean,
yeah, it's really high in sodium. And also with the juices, a lot of people love those, those pre-made juices. You get in the health food store, but when you're really looking at the serving size, it's like 2.5 servings per container. So one serving is like 23 or 33 grams of sugar, which is, so if you're looking at the grams of sugar, you divide it by 4, that's how many teaspoons there are. So let's make some math easy. Say it's 24 grams of sugar, divide by 4, that's 6 teaspoons of white sugar, multiply it by 2.5 or 3. So literally it's more than a soda in some of those juices. So that's why it's really important to read those labels too. So wonderful. I'm really glad you guys are so much more aware. Now, could you give us just a sort of an update about how like your clothes are fitting, like how the inch loss is going, since we're in week 5 now?
I actually had my mother 2 days ago, out of the blue, turn around and say, have you lost weight? And that's the first time I've heard that. Well, my boyfriend said it, but somebody other than him, and she really didn't know that I've been doing this. So that was just a nice surprise when all your hard work is finally starting to get noticed.
Wow, that's awesome. Yay. How about you, Cassandra?
Yeah, someone commented the other day that my pants were fitting a little bit better. So that's kind of how I feel. I'm kind of going to see if I can share a screenshot of Jen and I at the, where were we, Jen? We were at our awards show, right? And
which one are you going?
was that the one from
One of our red carpet
Kelly
events.
Hipsky's event, right? Do you remember that one?
Yes. That was just in February.
Yeah, it was in February. And I'm just trying to see whether we can do a shot of that one because we were both in there together. And I think that we were in the, maybe you can go to your Facebook. You know it better than I am. I'm on your profile now. And anyway, we had some shots together, and I'm just looking back at that and going, we have to do a follow-up shot where we are together again on the red carpet, but we look so fabulous.
Yeah, I like that idea, like side by side.
Yeah.
So maybe well, when's the next time you guys are together and could take a photo similar to that?
Actually, possibly next weekend.
Yeah. That would be brilliant.
Yeah, and then we could share.
Talking, I can find the photo.
Yeah. I'm trying to look for it too on your page, but I think Facebook always changes things. But the point is that
this is on my phone.
Yeah.
I don't know if how well you can see that.
Oh yeah, there we are.
It's a little glary. I apologize.
Yeah.
So that's our before.
Right, and then you have to do the side arm.
Yeah, we know how to stand. We teach people how to stand in front of the red carpet.
Nice.
To get the skinniest profile. So we're gonna have to do a side by side again. By week 10 is what we're going to do. Give the screenshot again, Jen, so we can really know.
Get rid of it.
Okay. Well, we'll have a less glary photo for folks.
Yes, and just know it's like the rear view mirror. Objects appear closer in real life than in the photo.
And actually, a PR thing is you end up looking 10 pounds heavier in film in general.
Yes,
so
I heard that too. So, all right, something to look forward to for the viewers by week 10 is to see your before and afters. Wonderful. All right, so why don't you each just quickly say what your baby goals are from this week to next week? And again, it could be anything, 1 to 3 goals.
Oh boy, they put me on the spot. Okay, so I really need to up the exercise. Like, no joke, I need to really start sweating and doing more than my 20 minutes a couple of times a week. So I just need to buckle down, suck it up, and do it, and start cutting down on the carbs. I'm really happy to say I don't have sugar cravings anymore. Late at night, where I would normally crave chocolate, I'll have even like a slice of toast with my vegan butter that I have, and just a little bit. I don't even put a lot on there, just enough for a taste. So that and cereal. I've always been a cereal fan, and that's kind of replaced my chocolate or my sugar high. So if I could maybe stop eating cereal once a day and only have it a couple days a week, I think that would be a vast improvement as well.
Okay. Even with the cereal, even if it's like reducing the portion, say you have X number a portion per day now, maybe it's just reducing that. So you're still getting your craving out of the way. It's just a reduced amount. That might be a baby step.
Right. Okay. Totally.
So for me, I think it's drinking more water, really having that water bottle. I found myself at the gym going, oh, I think I forgot my bottle upstairs at the checkout counter, so it's like my new pet or something. It's ridiculous. The other thing is I have to make use of the gym membership. I'm not going to allow another month to slide by without making use. of the gym membership. So really my goal is going to be twice a week minimally. And if I do 3 a week, then that's definitely a bonus. But I want to put in time and really work on cutting back on bread, because that is my definite go-to.
Okay. So with the cutting back on bread, it could be the same sort of philosophy as the cereal. It's, this is how much I have per day, and then how can I reduce that? Like I probably have a slice, or I mean, if I make like a little sandwich, I'll have like maybe 2 slices a day.
Right.
Sometimes it's like a wrap, so it's 1 tortilla. Maybe if you're having more, okay, just what can you reduce it to so you're still getting the craving out of the way, and it's just reducing the portions. And then with the gym goal, sometimes what's helpful too is to actually put it in the calendar. I mean, we're all busy people, you guys especially. So if it's on the calendar, you know that you're going, no matter what.
Right.
Treat it like an important meeting with yourself.
Yes.
So
I like that.
so that way it helps you to stay accountable too. So, well, wonderful, ladies. I love the goals. I love hearing about your progress. So proud of you. We're halfway through, and it really sounds like, you know, all these little baby steps are adding up to become second nature, which is part of this adopting a healthier lifestyle that works with you and your life and your busyness. So all is well. So we will tune in next week and touch base with how you guys are doing. And I'll see you next week then.
Awesome. Thanks so much,
Awesome.
Justine.
Thank you so much, Justine.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.